very quickly here, I want to move to what some are considering the elephant in the room around Tuscaloosa right now, and this is the story involving tragic story, Megan Rondini, the Alabama student who committed suicide after alleging rape against a prominent Tuscaloosa citizen and family. Now a wrongful death lawsuit has just been filed against our sheriff, 2 deputies, 2 University of Alabama employees, and the person that she alleged raped her. She took her own life as a result of this situation. A grand jury failed to indict the accused. And it's raised a lot of questions about how prepared our police and sheriff's department in Tuscaloosa is involving females who are raped. And it's something that I know is important to everybody, but especially the females in our community.
Yeah, Mayor, one of the things that I wanted to know is, when I read this article that sort of broke this story, one of the things that was mentioned was that in TPD, there's no dedicated unit to sort of handle these sort of cases. Is there any plan for that in the future? And then if you are elected, as the governor of Alabama, would something that you'd be concerned of is changing the definition? Because one of the things that's at the heart of this case for Megan is that they're saying she didn't physically attack the person who allegedly assaulted her. And because of that it wasn't definable as rape. And I'd like to see that definition changed. Is that something you would work on?
Absolutely, and let me just kind of circle back. Number one, the Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office is the lead agency on this, and understanding that, number one, it was an investigation. Number two, there's likely potential litigation coming out of it. I'm very limited in what I can say, so I just hope that dynamic is understood. But let me just then comment as a father. You could not help but read that article, and if you have children, and especially if you have a daughter, put yourself in that position and not feel like it was a soul-crushing moment. And I know that I felt that way just reading that article as an average citizen, and I'm like everyone else in this community. I read it probably at the same time everyone else did. Moving forward, I think there's what Meg talked about is important. First, getting the same nurse position, getting DCH to move forward with that, which I thought was a huge step. Ironically enough, about 5 weeks ago, I do an annual town hall meeting with the University of Alabama medical students. They had been working on that as a project, and it was the first time it had been presented to me. And I was glad to find out that our DA, Hayes Webb, had already been working with TPD, Sheriff's Office, and also DCH on that. So I was very happy to see that move forward. The second thing is what you talked about, the definition, because many times, and I've learned this in 12 years of service, we may see something that's wrong, but there's also a legal definition and a standard that has to be met. And as I read that article, I agreed with you. I think we need to take this case aside. I think we need to look at that because times are changing, especially the advent of different types of drugs and chemicals that can be used. And so I think it would be good for us to begin that discussion. In fact, I've asked our city attorney to take a look at that definition, to research what other communities and states are doing. It had to be a change in state law. To see where we are and where we need to go and what does the case law say about it, because I think those would be good steps in that direction.
Mayor, as of this morning, do you believe the Tuscaloosa Police Department and the Tuscaloosa Sheriff's Department, do you believe the officers are trained to properly investigate sexual assault cases?
First of all, I believe in the men and women of law enforcement in our community. And I have a unique perspective every single day because I get to see what most citizens don't. And the dedication, heart, and soul they pour into this job. And if I ever thought for 1 minute that, as it relates to the Tuscaloosa Police Department, that we were doing something as a result of negligence or corruption, I would move heaven and earth to stop it. Bottom line, I always believe we can be better. There's nothing, I believe every day when I go to work, I can be a better mayor. I believe Chief Anderson believes every day he goes to work, we can be a better police department. And the facts of this case are what they are, and I'm very limited in commenting about this case in particular. But I believe that we take this and we learn, and we say, what can we do to be better? What can we do to protect the vulnerable in our community from doing our best to ever prevent this from happening again? Certainly none of us can, But I don't think there's a rational person that doesn't believe that. And it's, by the way, and I'm going to kind of dance around one thing, but to get to another, this story certainly creates a national buzz, but we hurt over these issues every single day. I mean, unfortunately, there are bad things that happen every single day across our nation, across our state, and in Tuscaloosa. And I hurt every time I read something. Every morning that I get in and PD sends me the update from the past 24 hours. And I talk to our chief about it nearly every single day. And law enforcement hurts every single day. And that's what fuels me and drives me every day for programs like Pre-K, to support programs like Ending Bullying, support programs that talk about alcohol responsibility, programs that talk about your rights and responsibilities. That it didn't take this case to keep us fired up, but I also understand that when you read the article, is this a good opportunity to take a look at our methods and practices? Certainly it is, and we're going to continue to do the things every single day to be a better city and a better police department, and I have no doubt we can do that.
Mayor Walt Maddox, to be fair, this morning attorneys representing the accused say the wrongful death lawsuit is baseless and the allegations are false. The family of Megan Rondini says we want a jury trial, so that will move forward.